Hello. This video will discuss the protocols and equations needed for the assessment of cardiorespiratory fitness by using a 1-mile jogging test and a 1-mile walking test. Also, a proper heart rate procedure will be discussed following the testing. The equipment needed for this assessment are as follows: proper running shoes, a 400-meter track, a pencil and paper, a stopwatch, and a scale. Now I will discuss the protocols for the 1-mile jogging test. The jogging test is most appropriate for men and women 18 to 29 years of age. Within the first 2 to 3 minutes of the jogging test, a comfortable pace should be set, allowing the body to properly warm up. It is important to keep in mind that the jogging test is not a maximal test. The normative time values for the jogging range are at least 8 minutes for men and 9 minutes for women. The equation for the 1-mile jogging test is as follows and will now be discussed in detail. This is going to be the equation for the 1-mile jog for the VO2 max. This is for a female. And so what we're going to do, first thing first, when you're solving an equation like this, is you got to plug in your values. So for body weight, she weighed 163 pounds, and to convert that, we had to use kilograms. So it came out to 74 kilograms. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in the 74 kilograms in the body weight portion of the equation, which is right here. So we're going to write 74. Okay? And then the next thing we're going to plug in is the time. And so we have to convert the time from seconds into minutes into decibels. So it was a total time of 10 minutes and 57 seconds, which came out to 10.95 minutes. Okay, so we're going to switch that over here and the part of the equation, which is 10.95. And then we're going to plug in her heart rate. And heart rate doesn't really change. It's the same unit, which is beats per minute, and that's over here. So we're going to plug in, which was 168 beats per minute. And her gender, and the way it works is there's male and female. The male gender gets a value of 0, and we're going to plug that in at the very end of the equation. So that's going to be 0. And so what the whole equation looks like, it's going to be 100.5 minus 0.1636 multiplied time the body weight in kilograms, which is 74. Once you get that value, you're going to subtract it by 1.438 multiplied by the time, which is 10.95 minutes, subtracted by 0.1928 multiplied by the heart rate, which is 168 BPM, plus 8.344 times their gender, which her value came up to 0. So once you finalize everything and you plug in all the equations or all the units, we solve the equation. When you solve it, it comes out to a final VO2 max of 40.42 milliliters per kilogram per minute. Now I will get into detail for the 1-mile walking test. At the beginning of the test, a 5 to 10 minute warm-up should be done, setting a comfortable pace for the walk. The walk test is most appropriate for men and women between the ages of 20 and 69 years of age. It is also very useful for predicting maximal oxygen uptake for sedentary populations and older populations, since this is not a vigorous test and does not stress the joints too much. The proper technique for measuring heart rate is to count the number of beats for 15 seconds and multiply by 4 to get the heart rate. In the case of the heart rate, it should not exceed 180 beats per minute.
That's it.
Ready?
Yeah. That's it.
The equation for the 1-mile walking test is as follows and will now be discussed in detail.
Recording.
All right, so this is going to be the equation for the 1-mile walk to solve the VO2 max. Now we're going to be using a male in this equation, so there's going to be a few changes. First things first, when solving an equation like this, of course, like the last one, is you plug in your values. So we're going to plug in the body weight, which is 155 pounds, into the equation right over here, 155. Next thing, we're going to plug in the time. Now it's going to be in decimal minutes again. So we're going to change it from 15 minutes and 17 seconds into 15.21, or I'm sorry, 15.28 minutes. Now the way we did that is I have it written out over here. We divided 17 by 60. So this is 17 seconds divided by 60 seconds, which gives us 0.28 minutes. So once we plugged in the time, now we're going to plug in the heart rate, which is 158 beats per minute. We're going to plug that in here. So 158. We're going to plug in our gender constant, which is 1 for male. On this side, so we're going to plug in 1. And then we're going to plug in the age in years, which is 23 years of age. And that's going to be right here. So 23. Now once all of the values are plugged in, then we can go ahead and solve for the equation. So it's going to be 132.853 minus 0.0769 multiplied by 155 pounds minus 0.3877 multiplied by the age in years, which is 23, plus 6.315 times the gender, which the constant is 1 for a male, subtracted by 3.2649 multiplied by the time in minutes, which is 15.28 minutes, finally subtracted by 0.1565 multiplied by the heart rate of 158 beats. Once you get all that through and you solve for it, your total for the VO2 max should come out to 43.72 milliliters per kilogram per minute. The classification of absolute maximum oxygen uptake can be found through the ACSM's normative value tables. This is my data sheet for the following assessments. This concludes the proper protocols and equations needed to assess cardiorespiratory fitness by using the 1 mile jogging and walking test. Thanks for watching.